Dr. Neha Das is joining us. Dr. Neha, let's start with you. Finally, the norms were notified in January. We are in August. The center is at least beginning to review, rethink. It has told the Supreme Court we are reconsidering the UGC norms. Are you happy?
It's a mixed feeling because we were not asking for reconsideration. We just wanted the regulations to be withdrawn. So while I am happy to see that government is trying to reconsider it, but in the end they have to withdraw it because there was no need, there was no factual basis for these guidelines in the first place. So it's a beginning of what I will say that the government is realizing what kind of blunder they have made. And it's a step towards backtracking or, going back to the original version of the UGC regulations which existed. So I would say that it is a mixed feeling, but we are not still happy because we wanted complete rollback of these guidelines.
Right. Dr. Ranganathan, how are you looking at this? Why demonize the general category?
No, you're absolutely right, Pranesh. Look, the UGC equity regulations are unjust. They must be revoked, not just reconsidered as the Modi government has informed the Supreme Court. This is because in the equity guidelines, number 1, caste discrimination victim definition excludes general category. And number 2, equity committee composition excludes mention of general category. And number 3, there is no provision for punishing false complaints. Pranesh, any law must ensure that it gives justice to everyone, not just to a few. And when the education minister assured this law will not be misused, he is right. A good law can be misused, but you cannot misuse a bad law. You can only use it. And vested interests were already going to use this bad law for their ulterior motives. Already, if you remember back in January, some spokespersons and activists were advocating slapping fake complaints on general category students to trap them. Look, I am for such a law, and I don't believe it is needless to bring it because the cases are so few. Laws must not be made on the basis of victim numbers. Even one case of injustice merits bringing in a law. But as Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It is necessary to correct injustice, but it cannot be corrected by reapplying it. Punishing innocent people for sins they did not themselves commit is not correcting injustice. It is continuing it in its most violent and retributive form. UGC equity laws are an injustice happening on the campuses, which will become a threat to justice happening in the country. I repeat, make this law caste and community agnostic so that any community member facing caste discrimination can use it, any community member versed with caste discrimination can adjudicate it, and any community member misusing it can face punitive action. Just make these 3 changes and the bad law will transform into a good law. Question is, can the government do it? Finally, 10 seconds. To understand the absurdity of the UGC guidelines, this would be akin to our parliament amending the Compensation to Terror Victims Act to exclude Muslims from definition of victims of terrorism. Would the Congress and left parties that are supporting the UGC Equity Act that excluded general category from definition of victims of caste discrimination, would they support this amendment? Simple question.
Somebody will try again and then, Salman Khurshid will come and say that our leader was trying, etc., etc. Don't even make such a proposal, Dr. Ranganathan. All of what you've said can be implemented if, words could win election, not votes. So, Tushar, this is like weaponizing reverse bias.
No, look, it was a very poorly worded set of regulations, but I think everyone has forgotten that after the earlier outrage in February, the Supreme Court had put those rules in abeyance. They were never implemented. They were never a part of any university campus. They were never an application. So I don't know why in August this is again a scope of discussion when the entire UGC Act is under the parliament discussion for an entire revamp. The UGC as we know it will be completely changed. So I think there is a particular set of lobby that really wants to milk the UGC regulations, which are now in abeyance for their political purposes. But